There was another time we were in Kabela for a Ganesh Puja.
Please tell the year. Sorry.
2000, I think 2000 or it was 1999 or 2000, something like this. And this was a huge test for me because, again, Australian collective, lots of chaos, lots of there was a leader there at that time who was really hard work, and we just got swept up in all of the, again, chaos that was going on. And anyway, I got a chance to see Shri Mataji, and I think this was the story behind it's quite weird because there's always high emotions in these things, So anyway, what had happened was Shri Mataji came to the puja, and we did the puja, and then afterwards she had gifts for the Australians. She put them all out on the or the leaders or whatever put them out. And I went and tie. I grabbed a tie, and then Shri Mataji said, come and see me tomorrow after the weddings. So I thought, okay, this should be good. And because there was such chaos, I thought, that's it. I'm going to tell Shri Mataji, in my mind, because I was really reacting to a lot of stuff that was going on, And anyway, the next day, weddings happened, and then after the weddings, I jumped in the van, and the guy's like, "You shouldn't be in the van. What are you doing in the van?" I'm going, "Well, you just shush and drive," So I was not having it from anyone, and I was feeling really ready for a fight, with anyone who was ready to take me on, because the tensions in the collective had really blown up at that point, because of the way everyone was kind of, and Shri Mataji wasn't happy. She was telling Australians, "Go and foot soak. You're all right-sided." She was really not that impressed with us in those days. Anyway, got up to the castle, sort of standing there out the front. And the car comes, and some of the yogis look at me like, "What's he doing here? Who's he think he is to come up here and everything?" And I was feeling really like this. Anyway, Shri Mataji gets out of the car, and she's sort of bowing to everybody or namaskaring to everybody like this. And then she went sort of straight past me and didn't, and I was like, "Oh." So something in me was like, oh, okay. Because I was already feeling quite intense about all the stuff that was going on. So I immediately felt like, oh, okay. Anyway, no problem. Try to brush it off. Palak went up to the top of the steps. She gets out, and she's just going in, and she looks at me and goes, "What are you doing here?" And I just went white. I just thought maybe I misheard everything. Maybe, maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe these people are right, And I didn't know what to say. I was just stammering for the words. And then Shri Mataji said, "Oh, that's right. I called you, didn't I?" I said, yes, Shri Mataji. Oh, thank God, So then all of these difficult people were standing there.
Saving grace.
And then Shri Mataji gives me her handbag, and she puts her arm in my arm, so we could walk across. So I'm walking with Shri Mataji's hand on my arm like this, with Shri Mataji's handbag, walking across. And in my mind, I'm like, "Wow, oh my God, I'm with Shri Mataji, and she's touching me on the arm. This is fantastic.
Oh, wow.
This is really relishing the moment." And then she stopped and turned to bid farewell to everybody, just like this. And as she did that, just the look on their faces were like, "What is he? What's going on? Who is this guy?" and everything. And I was just like, "Yes, I'm with Shri Mataji like this." So anyway, we went into the room and then sat down. And then she said, 60% of these people are not Saj yogis. She said, "Your relationship is with me, not with them. And Saj Yoga is only one of my aspects." So she said, "Don't get affected by these things." And I said, "Shri Mataji, I think I've got ego." Because this was because I was seeing my own reaction at that point, and I was like, "Yeah." She said, "No." And I said, No, Shri Mataji, I think I've got ego." And she said, "Do you think you've got ego, or do you know you've got ego?" And I know I've got ego. And she said, "Very good. She said, I didn't want to say it. It's good that you saw it for yourself. But she said, don't worry. All those Australians have got ego down there.
That's probably one of the problems were there then, isn't it?
but it was just the whole again, the whole thing was just a big play. And then so we'd bought this apartment, and so I had the title deed, and it was a big deal. Anyone who buys a place knows it's a big deal. So I thought, I'm going to get Shri Mataji. If I get a chance, she'll bless somehow the title deed or something. So I had it. I put it on the
apartment in Cabela.
Oh no! I bought just an apartment in Sydney, back in the days.
And you were in Cabela, in the castle.
We were in Cabela seeing Shri Mataji. So I put it on the floor next to me, and I thought, I'm going to try and get that into the conversation at some point. I just put it there. I promptly forgot about it. Anyway, at that point, Shri Mataji went into meditation, and she was just sitting normally, and then I thought, well, I'm going to meditate. I'm with Shri Mataji. She's meditating, so I'm going to meditate. So I was just sitting there at her feet, and I was looking up at her, and then she went into the blessing pose like this, and she sat there for 5-6 minutes like that, just in silence. And then she brought her hands back down again, and I was just meditating in front of her. I didn't know, do I close my eyes? Do I keep my eyes open? I didn't know what to do. So I was just staring at her feet, like I had my head down looking at her feet. And every now and again, I would just look up to see, what Shri Mataji was doing. So I was just meditating at Shri Mataji's feet. She's meditating. And then I see her looking me up and down like this, and she's just like this. And then after 2-3 minutes more, she said, you'll be all right. And I got this very strange feeling that she was fixing something in my future. I just felt it. I don't know if it's correct or not, but I felt intuitively that she had somehow fixed something within me in my future. I can't explain how that is, but... And then... she looked at the title and she said, oh, what's that? And I said, oh, Shri Mataji's title deed. I bought an apartment. I was super happy. And then she said, sell it. I just bought it. She said, sell it. You don't need the headache. And I was like, oh, okay. And she said, then she named Kingsgrove Ashram. We had this ashram called Kingsgrove. She named it by name. She just said, oh, Kingsgrove Ashram was a blessing for you. You should stay there. So we're like, oh, okay, she's named the ashram by name. All right, okay, we'll stay. No problem at all. So I sold the apartment, broke even. as I'm the only person that's invested in Australian property and just broken even. But that's okay. And then we kept the ashram. We had the ashram going. But yeah, it was just one of those. And then I, as I said before, I went to kind of say to Shri Mataji about how all the chaotic things were going on. These people were all misbehaving and blah blah blah, but it was all gone. And then she said, "So is there anything else?" And I said, "Oh, Shri Mataji, just want to be with you forever. That's all. I don't want anything else in this life, but just to be with you forever, all eternity." Just to be with you. And then she put her hands up in blessing, and she said, I bless you for that. And then I just sort of namaskared to her, and then by that time Sandeep, I think it was, had come in and said, okay, time to move on. So I just namaskared to Shri Mataji and left at that point. But it was such a beautiful moment,
Very, very special.
Yeah.
Very special to have those fortune of spending a one-to-one time with the Adi Shakti herself.
Yeah.
With years of lifetimes.